Hey Mo Crew, Minimalist Outdoors here, just doing a quick review on the Smith & Wesson Model 69 44 Magnum. I'm thoroughly impressed with this gun. I've had this gun for, let's see, about 5 years now. Since then, I've been using it in the woods, at the range. It's always been my trusty sidearm for whenever I'm on any hikes out in the woods and everything. What I primarily use this for, I can use this for hunting. You can use this as like I think it's 357 and above. In Minnesota, you can use for hunting pistol in shotgun zones. So this is what I might use for a sidearm in shotgun zones. But this is definitely my primary sidearm. Well, my sidearm for hunting out in the north woods of Minnesota and everything. They have, like, sometimes we get warmer seasons where bears are kind of prevalent and everything. Like, they haven't gone to hibernation yet in November. And there's wolves around. So wolves were actually reintroduced into the area around 2011. So they've repopulated that area. I think they actually came back from Canada and out west, so they're a pretty big problem. But before I move on, I'm gonna let you verify that this thing is empty. So checking the 5-round cylinders. This is a 5-shot combat Magnum. You want to take a peek at the wording right there, made by Smith & Wesson. This thing's, if a pistol can be attractive, this thing is definitely on the attractive side. I love it, and everything's just smooth. One-handed, I can squeeze the trigger with my wounded hand, and it's still really easy to pull back. So, and you know, single action, just butter smooth. Like, it's completely different from, like, say if you own a Taurus. Taurus, they have kind of like a grainy feel when you're pulling it on double action. If you don't know what grainy is, and you're kind of a novice to pistols and everything, squeeze the trigger of a Taurus and then squeeze the trigger of a Smith & Wesson. You'll definitely know the difference. Really like this sight. When I got this gun at Shields out west in North Dakota, I traded in a pistol, and it was a Taurus for this one. So at this point in time, this is the new release for Smith & Wesson back in 2014. This is the Smith & Wesson Model 69 44 Magnum. At that point, they've already came out with 2 other variations of the Smith & Wesson Combat Magnum Model 69. They have the 3-inch barrel edition, and then they have the Model 69, which was made almost a decade prior, that didn't have the Magnum shrouded barrel. So I'm going to point that right here. This has a double shrouded barrel, so the barrel's on the inside and it has a sleeve over the top of it for like extra abuse, I guess you could say. So this thing's on the top of the I guess durability shelf for Smith & Wesson, so it's one of their masterpieces. The thing I like about the most is that it has the new stainless finish. I know on videos before I even purchased this, I used to watch Hitchcock 45. Very, very good videos. I'm still a subscriber, but I just don't watch them half as much as I used to. So there's a difference between, you know, like the stainless of like older stainless, which kind of has like a more glossy look, whereas this one's kind of a matte stainless. So This thing's very resistant to the elements, I guess you could say. And that also depends on what type of oil you decide to put on your 44 Magnum and everything. So I've put about 200 rounds through this, 44 loads, the Magnum loads, not the 44 specials. And at around 75 yards with these sights, I was able to hit a cinder block and destroy it with the 44 Magnum. And that was just the soft points. When I carry this thing out in the woods, I have it loaded with the Lever Evolution 225 grain. Yeah, 225 grain Lever Evolution by Hornady. I mentioned those in previous videos. I even shown you an example, but here's an example of the soft point that I use against a cinder block. There, these things are pretty hefty in size. 44 Magnum is your kind of the American go-to for hunting black bear or grizzly. And you know, if you decide to, if you have like a deer that's kind of like near your stand, and you don't have time to kind of like pull your rifle out and just do a quick shot, you can always just pull the gun out of the bandolier holster, aim at the base of your tree stand, pull the trigger. It's that simple. So I'll be doing some future videos of firing this. Right now 44 Magnum is actually getting pretty expensive. I covered in a previous video where I was at Cabela's. The ammunition for this now is around $19.99 a box. I'd rather spend money on other things like, you know, keeping the lights on the apartment and everything. So yeah, I don't have very much 44 Magnum saved up. I'd rather run it through my CVA and get some good shot groups. I put a new scope on it. I had it previously zeroed in on my CVA Hunter 44 Magnum breech barrel rifle. I had it previously sighted in at 100 yards with a Simmons scope, and that was not a good idea since I found out that Simmons scopes are meant for rim fires and they aren't able to handle the shock of 44 Magnum. So I decided to put a Weaver Caspa series scope on there, which is 44 millimeter, and I like it. Actually, this weekend I'm going to be taking it to the range along with sighting my 22 Magnum Savage 93 out to 100 yards. So I'm going to be taking both. But yeah, this thing's pretty heavy. I think when I last saw it, it was just shy of 2 pounds. So it's pretty heavy, and there's really not much else to say about it other than it's relatively slim profile for a 44 Magnum. A lot of other 44 Magnums, they hold 6, and the ones that hold 6 kind of have a little wider. Actually, no, uniform cylinders and everything. The only difference is the walls and the cylinders are not as thick, and the ones that are 6 shots, this one's 5 shot, and the walls right here are pretty thick compared to a 6 shot. So, yeah, absolutely zero complaints with this pistol. It's accurate and it's effective. Haven't shot an animal with it yet, but I carry out in the woods with the hopes to get a deer. And yeah, so that's pretty much my overview of the Smith & Wesson pistol, the 44 Magnum Model 69. I'm just going to do a little rotation of this thing. I was about to say marquee, that's not the right word. But yeah, it's wonderful and it's easy to shoot. The Magnum loads, since it's a heavier 44 Magnum, you can bet that, you know, the recoil is going to be, well, the recoil is pretty heavy for any pistol, but like for a 44 Magnum, I mean, it's not too bad. This is hard rubber, so when the thing recoils and it goes into your hand, it kind of hurts. I'm not going to be shooting it anytime soon, not until this wound closes up. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this. Hope it influences you to buy Smith & Wesson. If you like hunting, get the all-purpose round for revolvers, 44 Magnum. That's it. If you have any comments that you'd like to add to the video, go ahead and comment below. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. I'll be doing more videos and coming up, I'll be going on a predator hunt, and that's why I'm going to be zeroing the Savage Model 93 to 100 yards. Be sure to watch it. Thank you.